The Lord has truly risen. Alleluia. And it's nice to say the Alleluia word without getting fined by Carol for saying so. You must have heard about the recent happenings in Judea, we heard in that first reading. So begins that conversation between Peter to Cornelius and his household. Today, on this Easter Sunday, we let the witnesses of the resurrection speak, those eyewitnesses who were present to the events of these last few days. The first witnesses of the resurrection were the women of Jerusalem, including Mary Magdalene, who we hear in that gospel reading. These women had first-hand experience. These women informed Peter and the other disciples about what they had found in the tomb. As Peter rushes to the tomb, almost having a race with the beloved disciple, we know he had first-hand experience of the events which had taken place. I wonder if he was thinking about the last few days as he was running to the tomb. The Last Supper, in which Jesus washed their feet, in which he says, if everybody else will abandon you, I will never abandon you. And what does he do? He runs away. He not only abandons, but denies the very existence. He was present during that very first way of the cross, and yet he stayed in the distance, denying until that cock crew the third time. The witnesses of the resurrection continue to speak out, not only in those who were physically present at the tomb, but also in those who have heard the proclamation from them and who in their turn testify to the risen Christ. Down throughout the ages, from person to person, from generation to generation. It is through the continual sharing of this testimony, of those witnesses to the resurrection, that the church continues to grow, that the church, founded at the cross on Good Friday, has been able to spread to every corner of our world. And now, we are part of that story. We become part of his story, as the Archbishop tells us over and again. We are ourselves witnesses to the resurrection, and now we are invited to make our own testimony and to proclaim the truth that has been handed down to us. And so as Peter shares his testimony to Cornelius and his household, who come to believe, now we are called to do the same. And the first step that we take now, in just a moment, is to do this by renewing our own baptismal commitments, that by publicly professing our faith. And so I invite you to pick up your candles, which you were given, and my glamorous assistants are going to come around and light these candles from the big Easter candle.